Good morning, this is KELOLAND On the Go, with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
This morning, 6 former Mitchell Legion baseball players are expected to return to the Pennington County Courthouse for sentencing. The men and boys were originally charged with rape following an incident when the team stayed at a Rapid City hotel in 2023.
All 6 of the former players made plea deals. Each of them admitted to being an accessory to a felony, and the rape charges were dropped.
KELOLAND's Tyler Lauder will be in the courtroom for this morning's hearing. We'll let you know as soon as the sentences are handed down. Watch for updates on KELOLAND News and KELOLAND.com.
A Mount Vernon man admits to losing his temper and killing a toddler who he was babysitting. Wednesday, 36-year-old Sean Delancey returned to the Davidson County courtroom where he admitted to the March of 2023 crime as part of a plea bargain. He
pleaded guilty to child abuse and second-degree manslaughter. A murder charge was dropped. Delancey will be sentenced in early December.
Sioux Falls police are adding 2 new motorcycles to the department. A group of officers spent yesterday afternoon training on the new BMW bikes.
The new bikes will replace 2 of the department's oldest Harley-Davidson motorcycles. About 10 officers are trained to drive a patrol bike.
The first thing we did was basic nomenclature, maintenance, and stuff that's different than the Harley. And then now what they're doing is they're going through exercises that they've done previously on the Harley-Davidson.
The BMWs have already been out on Sioux Falls streets. Police will continue to use their bikes, which include 5 Harley-Davidsons and 1 Triumph. Now let's get a check of our forecast with meteorologist Scott Munstein. Hot and windy out there, Scott.
Strong southerly winds today, wind gusts near 40 to 50 miles per hour in the central and north central South Dakota. We'll have highs in the 80s and 90s, 90-degree heat in central and western KELOLAND. With a warm front late in the day today in western South Dakota, we could see a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Flags were at half-staff Wednesday across the state to honor Patriot Day, a day set aside to commemorate the people killed in the terrorist attacks of 9/11. Following those tragic events, a number of South Dakota soldiers were deployed to Afghanistan to fight the war on terror.
Sadly, a number of them didn't come back, including Greg Wagner, a member of the 147th Field Artillery, who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms.
Never missed getting mom cards for everything. Mom's Day, birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day, everything. And it's kind of ironic that after he was killed on May 8th, the following weekend was Mother's Day. And his card arrived.
The state named a bridge after Wagner as part of its Fallen Heroes Bridge Dedication Program. We'll have more on that next week on Eye on KELOLAND.
Crunch Fitness in Sioux Falls marked 9/11 with a special challenge Wednesday.
The Stair Climb Challenge is 110 flights of stairs, 2,071 steps, representing the former World Trade Center towers.
We really respect our first responders and we want to do all that we can for them and show our appreciation for them. We've opened this up to the public as well as the fire department, EMS, and the police department. So you don't have to have a membership to come and do this today. We just want to host an event where people have a space to give back.
One participant wore a 30-pound backpack, while another person completed 256 floors, honoring the fallen heroes of 9/11.
The 33rd Annual President's Bowl returns to Howard Wood Field Saturday, bringing the 4 Sioux Falls high schools together in one stadium. The fundraising event kicks off with number 4 Jefferson against Washington, followed by a nightcap that pits number 2 Lincoln against Roosevelt. A cheer camp will be held at Howard Wood Field Saturday morning prior to the games.
All proceeds will benefit the schools. The excitement surrounding the bowl games has the players and coaches ready to go.
Howard Wood Field is an awesome place to play football, and then when you pack it in and you get the event going itself, it makes it really special for our kids and our coaches.
We're going to come in excited. I feel like it's the most excited I've been, and the team's been about it for years, especially with under a new coaching staff. And first All-Break, it's a really big deal for him and for us, so we're just going to make it a memorable one.
The President's Bowl is set for Saturday. The first game kicks off at 3 p.m. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our top headline today, red flag warning in effect through this evening. It does include Pierre, Mobridge, Rapid City, Buffalo, strong winds, low humidity, and pretty warm temperatures. We're still in the 90s today for many of these areas. So please exercise caution, plus the fact that some dry lightning could occur with any thunderstorms that develop in far western South Dakota. You can see what we mean when we look at this wind map at 4 o'clock. Sioux Falls, Yankton, 30-plus mile-an-hour winds. This area from north central Nebraska all the way up into North Dakota. 40 to 50 mile-an-hour winds, and that's just a lot of wind there when you've got dry conditions. Tomorrow, the wind is reducing a little bit here. It's still out of the south, and then we'll regroup into the weekend. We think that some winds will return from the south as we get into that forecast there by Saturday and Sunday. And, of course, it's still a warm weekend. It's not going to be perhaps as warm. The hope is tomorrow, especially Rapid City, we can reduce those highs to closer to 80. Here's a look at today, though, still with those highs in the 90s from Pierre to Rapid. A lot of wind. Will we see that rain chance? Well, it's in there at 30% for Rapid City. That's a snapshot at about 8 o'clock this evening. And whatever is on radar is expected to fizzle for the most part into central KELOLAND by tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, West River folks will get a little break on the heat. It'll be cooler, a lot more 70s and low 80s. Meanwhile, Sioux Falls still will be in the middle 80s. And we can't rule out some scattered rain chances even Friday night. I think right now, even into Saturday, this frontal system kind of washes out over top of us. And so you can see some of the rain attached to it tonight, West River, and then it kind of sits there tomorrow morning, might spark a few more spots tomorrow late afternoon, tomorrow evening in eastern KELOLAND. That's a look at things going on there at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So maybe for football games, we'll have to kind of update that scenario for a few of the towns out here in eastern South Dakota. Otherwise, on Saturday, it's still possible a couple of things could develop. Right there it is, 6 o'clock Saturday evening. We may have to include Pierre, maybe central South Dakota. Otherwise, the temperatures not cooling a lot for Sioux Falls. We're going to start the forecast at 86. We're going to end the forecast at 84 on day 7, and maybe a couple of rain chances to slide in here Monday and again by Wednesday. We do anticipate the end of the forecast will feature another big trough coming into the Rockies, and perhaps that'll start to re-energize some thunderstorm chances for the region. It's in there on day 6 and day 7 for Aberdeen, and also for Pierre and Rapid City. We're kind of watching that long-range picture there and maybe some thunderstorm potential. Notice, though, temperatures, ahead of that trough, still plenty hot. Rapid City could get back to 90 early next week. Check out the details. They're online at KELOLAND.com.